Hello friends and welcome home. In today's video I'm going to be explaining how we came up with our kids' names and other name ideas that we really liked. So we'll start off with Allison. She is going to be 5 in January, and we found out we were having a girl at 16 weeks. It was like a 90% positive, but it wasn't 100%. But obviously she is. And we originally I was kind of set on Emmeline. And I just imagined a little girl named Emmy, and I thought it would be super cute. But as my pregnancy progressed, I was like, not really feeling it anymore. And then we really considered the name Hunter for a girl. I went to high school with a girl named Hunter, and I really loved her name, and I thought it was so unique, but it just didn't seem to fit. We actually really struggled finding a name for her. I remember making a list and going through it with Lilith, and she didn't like almost every single name idea I had. And I think I have a package. So I actually got the name Addison from Grey's Anatomy. Addison Montgomery, I think her name was, or something. I don't even remember. That was so long ago. And we really liked the name Addison. And we actually decided that that was her name, and for several weeks. But we hadn't like officially announced it. And to be honest, in my head, the song like Addie, You Okay was just playing all the time because Addison, and it was driving me crazy, and I just didn't want her to be called Addie. And I don't know, it just really like started to bug me, and then we kept accidentally saying Allison instead of Addison. And after several errors of saying Allison instead of Addison, we kind of decided that we liked it more, and that's the name that we wanted to name her. And so that is how we ended up coming up with Allison. And her middle name is Delaney. Her name is Allison Delaney. And that is also a name of a girl I went to school with, and I absolutely loved it. It was so unique. It was, I'd never heard it before, and I just thought it was so pretty, Delaney. And I didn't want to do a unique first name. I wanted to do a unique middle name and like a traditional first name for her. And Delaney was kind of set. I think it was even set before Allison was. And so yeah, that's how we came up with the name Allison Delaney. I don't think we had any name ideas for her picked if she was a boy, because we had found out she was a girl at 16 weeks, and that's when we started thinking of names. We actually hadn't really decided the names until after we found out, but a name I really liked for a boy was Rylan, but Lilith does not like that name, and it was a no-go. But yeah, so then on to Lachlan. His name is Lachlan Thomas. And so Lachlan is an interesting name. It's definitely very unique, and it's not heard of anymore. And so Lachlan actually started off as Hunter, because I still love the name from Allison. And we actually even got the letters and painted them like to go on the wall for the room and everything. And it just didn't fit. Hunter was not our kid's name. And so we went from Hunter to Henry. I really love the name Henry, but was not a good name for our family. And so we bounced from Henry to I think there was another name. I don't remember what his name changed to after Henry, but the following name was Harrison, and I love Harrison, and I definitely think that that would be a name in the future that we would use possibly. I love the name Harrison. I think it's so cute. I definitely would not want to call my kid Harry, but I think Harrison is a great name. And so that then that was his name. And then Lilith came to me one day and she's like, I really don't like the name. It doesn't feel right to me. And so we were back at square one, and I was like 7 or 8 months pregnant, and we had no idea what his name was gonna be. And I was putting Allison to bed one night, and I just started Googling what names go well with Allison. And when you Google, there's all these like baby forums and things. And so I just started going through baby forums, and I was just reading them of all the name suggestions, and there were several of like, oh, what's a name that goes well with Allison? And one of the names listed was Lachlan. And I was like, that's really interesting. And I texted Lilith about it, and it's spelt L-O-C-H-L-A-N, but it's pronounced Lachlan. And it's like an old Viking name, and it was just so unique, and we just loved it. So we finally decided on his name, Lachlan. Sometimes people have trouble pronouncing it when they read it, like at the doctor's office. He's been called Lachlin and just weird things like that, but it is unique. And honestly, every time somebody hears it, like, we always are like, people are always like, oh, I love that name, it's so unique. And so yeah, that's how Lachlan got his name. And for his middle name is Thomas. That's actually my dad's middle name. And before we decided on his first name, kind of like Allison, I knew that I wanted his middle name to be Thomas. There he is. We automatically knew that we wanted his middle name to be Thomas. And it's my dad's middle name, and so it was just really important to us. I still kind of wish we would have named him Thomas Lachlan, but it didn't sound as good. But I kind of wanted to continue the tradition of a unique middle name and a traditional first name. I think Thomas would have been a really cute name for him. And so that was like, that honestly probably would have been his name. But Thomas Lachlan does not sound as good as Lachlan Thomas. So if I hadn't discovered Lachlan, I think we would have went with Thomas as his first name. Although apparently I had an H name tradition, like of I had like an H name thing with him. I don't know. If he was a girl, I have no idea what we would have named him. We found out we were expecting him at like 11 weeks. We ended up doing a blood test, and that showed us the results. But before we found out that he was a boy, I had such a strong feeling. My pregnancy seemed so different than it did with Allison, and I just knew. I remember telling them, like, I know it's a boy. And I even bought like these boy themed swaddle blankets. Not that that matters, because a baby can wear anything. It doesn't matter if it's for a boy or a girl, whatever. But I bought these ones that would have been for a boy, and I was like, I know we're having a boy. I knew it. And we did the blood test, and I remember getting the blood results, and I was like, I was surprised, because everyone in my family has girls. And so when I found out I was having, it's like I knew I was having a boy, but I was still so surprised, and I couldn't believe it. And when we had like ultrasounds, I was like, are you sure he's a boy? Like, confirm, like 100%. And when he was born, I remember asking, I'm like, he's a boy? Like, he's really a boy? Are you sure? I was just so surprised, because everybody had always had girls, and it was just, I was surprised. But yeah, so I thought this would be a really fun video to film. I watched Chloe's, I think her YouTube is like Chloe and Beans, and she also has a Life with Beans channel. And I saw her video that she did, and I thought this would be really fun to film. I'd love to know down in the comments, what are names you were gonna name your children, and what name did you settle on? And but yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.